Who wins the Royal Rumble? CM Punk or John Cena? This is either those two. Um, Again, like the kid in me, the black kid in me wants John Cena to win. Every athlete, celebrity, you ask all these other people, they're going to tell you John Cena is winning the Royal Rumble or should win. I'll tell you, as a wrestling fan, having seen wrestling for the past week, a couple weeks or so, CM Punk could also very well win the Royal Rumble because he has a pretty big claim, runner up to his shoulder last year, or whatever, by the socket with Drew McIntyre DDT or whatever, and was still part of the final two with Cody. So him and Cody having a match would be great. Him and Kevin Owens having a match would be great. I don't think physically him and Gunther would work because Gunther would break CM Punk in half. Gunther would break Cena in half, but that's why they might not challenge Gunther. But it would have been a great match. I think John Cena versus Gunther might be a great match in November for like a Survivor Series or whatever. But just because we already know, like, if if Gunther goes too hard, John Cena's career is over. He gave it all he had. But in April, you know, I feel it would be best if both CM Punk and John Cena could win the Royal Rumble at the same time. Bret Hart, Lex Luger, whatever. John Cena, Batista in 2005, unofficially. But we're going to need a non-definitive winner because I want John Cena to have a great send-off. He should win the Royal Rumble. If he decided to retire like in 2026, I think it would have been brilliant because then you would have known CM Punk had just won. But now we know it's his last Royal Rumble. John Cena would have to at least be part of the final two. But then it just feels like it feels like we've been stolen a moment. So I proposing a theory or something that Triple H can decide tonight. John Cena and CM Punk win the Royal Rumble together. Now I know you might have had Seth win, but over the past week, emotionally, we had CM Punk confront Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. So, and we want to see one of those matches. We don't really care which one. I mean, I'd rather see the CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes match, me personally. But if you have Kevin Owens versus CM Punk, I wouldn't be mad either. I wouldn't be mad. But let's be real here. In this scenario, I would have both John Cena and CM Punk draw. I don't care if they're both on the apron and they just decide, you know what, screw it. They both just decide to fall off the apron and say, we can both win together. Like they're both heroes. And it culminates like maybe they were both the number one and number two. They started the ring together. John Cena was the number one. He was getting all emotional, and CM Punk was number two. They were giving each other flowers. They were attacking everybody, taking everybody out. And it was just those two standing from number one, John Cena, and number two, CM Punk. And then they're just going and throwing blows. All their finishers, like for 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. Just like The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels one. Basically, the best final two you can have. Maybe even a 5-star match if they're able to go all the way. But John Cena, CM Punk has them on the ropes. They eliminate each other somehow. They both fall to the ground at the same time. They time it that way. That way, we can have the culmination of two storylines. CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble, finally fulfilling his boyhood dream. John Cena finishing his career winning the Royal Rumble. Like, you couldn't write it any better. You couldn't script it any better. That's all we're asking for is a culmination of the storyline. John Cena and CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble together. They're the best accomplished most people. I mean, you could argue that John Cena, Randy Orton would have been like really cool, and they might even still attempt that. But in another video, I'll explain what we're gonna do with Randy Orton. Randy Orton might not be in the Royal Rumble. He might be in the Royal Rumble, but him and Cody Rhodes or Kevin Owens or both, add Zayn to the equation. I mean, that's gonna be what the lock is. So we're gonna find out that Randy Orton is going to turn heel, but he's going to turn heel on Cody Rhodes. Will he cost him the match before in that ladder match? I feel like he could. He could turn on both of them. But Randy, to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania and not Kevin Owens, he'll have to admit that the pile driver that Kevin Owens had delivered to Randy Orton did not affect his neck in any way. In fact, it was such a weak power driver. It had no ill intent. It was not a package power driver. It was not even a regular power driver. It was a protected power driver. That way, Randy Orton can just admit he was working with Kevin Owens the whole time, just to see if Cody would care about him, if he would visit him in the hospital, or if he would call him at all. But Cody didn't do any of those things. So that's how we turn Randy heel, turning him on Cody Rhodes. So he could cost him the match. Kevin Owens wins the championship. You could have Kevin Owens versus CM Punk and John Cena. I think because that would complete a few more storylines. Or you could split it and do Gunther versus Cena, and then CM Punk versus Kevin Owens with Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the background. So I think that's the new wave. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes makes as much sense as the CM Punk now versus Cody Rhodes, but I think CM Punk would make that more heat. Hitting animosity. But that's just my opinion. You have, 3 main events already set up because you also still want to do the Seth thing. So add Seth to the Cena Gunther thing. But I think in some capacity we're gonna see Gunther versus Seth Rollins, or that triple threat with multiple guys with Seth Rollins and Gunther. So either it be CM Punk, John Cena. You swap that out, or you do a 4-way. Like I'm legit. Like if you can get John Cena in the title match, CM Punk in the title match, and you get Seth Rollins in the title match with either Gunther or Kevin Owens, like most likely Gunther if it's Seth Rollins, and then Kevin Owens for CM Punk and or Cody Rhodes. Honestly, you can do John Cena, Cody Rhodes versus the darn CM Punk and Randy Orton all together in the 4-way. But the final thing is Roman Reigns versus The Rock. The Rock is like number 30. But either Rock eliminates Roman Reigns eliminates The Rock. Either or, it doesn't really matter. But somehow they both eliminate themselves, either with the new bloodline or the old bloodline. One of the two.